Hey, it was good, what's good, what's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast presented by DJ City and Beat Source. I am one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. We got DJ Never here.
Yo, what up?
We got Jamie the Great.
Yeah.
And this is the special LA edition of the R.O.A.D podcast. We have invaded the Beat Source offices. We're here in LA. We got a special guest. She is one of my favorite DJs. She's one of my favorite people in LA. And I don't like a lot of people in LA.
No.
But I like her a lot. She's I kind of forgot where we met, so I want to talk about this. But we recently saw her for Beyond the Music.
Yeah.
We hung out. I dragged her out. I dragged her and Bella out. We had a great time, right? And she was ready to turn up, right?
Yeah, she was ready to go.
And I'm so glad she's here. I'm so glad to see you. We got DJ Lady Sha in the building. What's good?
Yeah.
How you doing, Sha?
I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah?
I love you guys.
I'm happy you're here too.
Oh, you brought the energy with
I
you
love
today.
talking to you guys on or off the mic.
There you go.
All right.
I just have to remember we're on the mic now.
Yes.
We are on.
Yeah.
Me and Sha, we go deep into we talk about the industry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she hears about some Vegas shit. I'll hear about some LA shit. And we talk, you know?
We keep each other up on the drama.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She keeps me on the skinny. So I could, our conversations off the record are seriously off the record.
There's an off the record podcast called Tea Time between Cricket and Sha.
Yeah.
And nobody knows about all the teas being spilled on that chat.
But it was great to see you at Beyond the Music.
Yeah,
that was
awesome.
our second one where you had a panel with the Check Yourself.
Free records.
Because she's a college girl. She's a smarty.
Oh yeah.
You're a smarty pants, right?
I guess
She's about to
smarty
downplay it.
pants / nerd, dweeb,
Right.
dork. Those
You have
would be
you have like a
words.
double major.
Yeah.
What would you have?
I was pre-med in anthropology,
Right.
and now I'm a DJ.
Right.
Nice.
Neither, I should have just majored in business because at the end of the day, that's what we're all doing, running our own business.
Yeah.
So if you're about to choose your major in college, choose business because whatever you end up doing, you need to know how to run a business,
savvy.
whether it's yourself or someone else's business. So that's what I would have gone back in time to do. Although anthropology is cool and pre-med is, every good Persian is going to grow up to be a doctor, right? So I had to do pre-med.
Jesus.
We just had a B-Beats on, right?
He knows. Yeah, we talked about this at Beyond the Music.
Yeah.
Middle Eastern, Asian backgrounds. We're all your choices are doctor or lawyer. Anything else is
It's not a real job.
why are you going outside the box? Or could you do that on the weekends? That's a lot of parents are well,
That's more of a hobby.
that's nice. Could you do it on the weekends? And I think, a lot of the DJs I talk to with Middle Eastern or Asian backgrounds, they're I used to be a lawyer. Yeah. I used to be a doctor. Yeah.
Such overachiever,
Yeah.
right? And then y'all just became DJs.
fucking-
I love
No,
it.
what about you, Crooked?
I was a college dropout.
Oh, okay. So your mom wasn't
I mean, she was.
Oh, she had a hard
Yeah,
time when he
exactly.
got a scholarship for art. She was like, "What is that?" They had to bring her in and kind of speak to her.
Well, yeah,
it's a big deal.
she wanted me to go to business school and all of this shit,
Yeah.
you know. But I was a rebel.
You're right.
I had to.
I was a rebel.
Yeah, I had to
Room
show her
full of
that,
rebels.
yo, this is not gonna work. This ain't gonna work like that.
My parents are just happy I graduated from high school.
Sha, where did we meet? How do I know of you? Because my memory is so bad. What I remember is Miami, right?
That's not where we met.
Where did we met? Though you were killing it in
I
Miami.
think
Though,
I
right?
don't know when I look back at my life,
Right.
I've always known you.
Yeah.
I don't know where we met,
There's some spiritual shit happening here.
but
But it had to do with you
When I
being in
was-
Miami and I would be in Miami and I'd be like, yo, I gotta come check you in Miami, right?
that's when I think we spent quality time together or time in the DJ booth together. Where I was playing and you
I
were the
went to go
listener.
see you.
Yeah, you came to Rockwell one night when you were DJing in Miami or you were there.
Yeah.
And you came to see me DJ at Rockwell.
You were nasty.
And I kept turning around and looking at you because it was your first time hearing me.
Yeah.
Because all throughout my 20s, I came to Heart of Omnia and hung out with my girlfriends in that DJ booth to see you. We probably never shared any meaningful words. I would just be like, hi, I'm DJ Lady Sha from LA. Can I come see you tonight? And
Is that how it started?
Or did you ever come to Firepoo? with
Maybe
Cheap
that was
Shot.
it?
I feel like maybe
award?
actually.
Oh wow! Now you're going real back.
I know.
Yes, there's some
So
real
DJ
throwback shit.
Cheap Shot used to have a DJ get together, I think on a Tuesday night at a wing spot in Burbank, and he called it Firepoo. And I met a lot of DJs, a lot of scam DJs. I was Cheap Shot on Scam.
Yeah, he was.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of scam DJs
No.
were there.
He was on Koi Pond in the beginning.
I used to look at that roster, bro. Cheap Shot was in that roster.
Was he?
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
yeah,
a New
that's
Kids in
right.
the Block
the
DJ.
scam. I used to get the scam newsletter.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
So-
before Scam, I think
Oh, yeah,
he was
yeah,
on
yeah.
Koi Pond. And Koi Pond was the
Captains of Industry.
Captains of Industry was Stone Rock and Graham's.
So we're going back to
agency.
early 2000s right now,
Yeah.
which is crazy because I'm only 27.
Yes. You look so great.
But anyways,
I thought you were 23.
Wait, but we got to talk about Firepool because it was a West Coast get together.
It was
Cheap
and-
Shot put together.
and not only that, but we did wing eating contests.
Was it
Like,
barbecues or wings?
Ribs and
Yeah.
wing eating contests.
Did you go to this? No.
He did it one year in Vegas.
Right.
And I went to that one.
But for the most part, it was in LA once a month, I want to say, on like a Tuesday night.
But
And-
then he had an award in November. He used to give out awards, like little
Yeah.
toilets.
Yep. And
Like-
I think I had one from winning a wing eating contest or something. But yeah, it was actual, like it was DJs sitting on, it felt like a very busy cafeteria in there. Like people were sitting on top of tables. Like it was like those big long picnic tables, and we were all like sitting, gathering around, talking, eating ribs and wings, and like acting a mess.
Yeah.
Being a mess, acting a mess, eating a mess, and talking a mess. Like it was aptly named Firepoo. And I think I met you at one of those. And then when I would come out to Vegas, I felt very comfortable just hitting you up and being like, can I
Right.
come to Heart of Omnia? And I would hear you do these hip hop sets at Heart of Omnia and get like, I don't know if you were drunk or not, but you just get in the mic and yell Korean blow or whatever. Like you'd had your
Yeah,
little
I had a
sound
drop, yeah.
bit, and then you would talk
Korean
shit to the
blow.
crowd. And I was like, wow, what an interesting Korean man.
Yeah, and I think, and then you were steadily going to Miami at that time. You were doing Rockwell.
Miami was more 2013. I feel like it was in the earlier 2000s that I would come
Really?
hang out with you in the DJ booth. And then in, I think, 2013 to 2019, I started going to Miami every month and then every other weekend. So I was doing Rockwell and sometimes Live. And you were in town for 1 week. We were in town at the same weekend, and you're like, I'm going to come to Rockwell. And so many DJs are like, I'm going to see you tonight at your set, and I'd never see them.
Right.
But you actually showed up, and then you were in the DJ booth, and I remember continuously looking back to look at your reaction, and you were always like, I didn't know you were this ratchet. Like you.
Oh no,
Dope. Yeah, you were real ratchet.
Lady Sha
loved
gets
it.
ratchet, bro.
Yeah.
I would
opened-
just like be slamming all these songs into one another and then like going, because that's what it was from like 2013 to 2019. It was like hip hop reigned in the clubs. The EDM era had begun waning. I don't know what year, but all I know is that it was all hip hop. All
Yeah.
brand new hip hop, and then I would throw in a little bit of 90s and 2000s, and it was just like the only thing I had to change to DJ in Miami was I would add a little bit of more reggaeton when I play Miami. But otherwise, both LA and Miami, all the clubs just wanted hip hop start to finish all night long. And the older we get, the more old school becomes newer stuff that we wouldn't think of as old school. Like I thought old school was like 1980s hip hop, and now old school
like Run
to these
DMC?
kids. Yeah, now old school to these kids is
Early
Jay-Z?
2000s. 50
Jay-Z and
Cent.
Diddy, and they're like,
50,
"Can you
Ja
play-"
Rule?
Yeah, how are they old school? So that is like I would sprinkle that in through the night, and people would be like, "Oh, she's going deep."
How do you feel about like the club scene right now? You're at what? You're at Poppy and Bootsy Bellows.
Yeah, I'm at Poppy once a month, Bootsy Bellows once a month here in LA, and then Rockwell ended its run in Miami and during the pandemic, and so now I'm mostly LA.
And it's mostly all hip hop still, right?
Still.
Still hip hop, ratchet ass hip
Except
hop.
what's interesting is that, like, for instance, when Drake came out with his last album and it was so many, like, sticky and massive, and those songs were 127 to 132 BPM.
Yeah.
That opened me up to then go from, like, Party Next Door has a a song that's 127 BPM. And so I would start looking for hip hop artists that did songs in the house and EDM BPM range. And so I'm excited that Drake came out with all these songs on that album with so many, super high BPM.
Are you still running those songs? I stopped playing.
I
them.
play Sticky, I play Massive, I play I gotta think what else, but like even from there I'll go into like a Kid Cudi Pursuit of Happiness, and like it just opens you up to play all these faster BPM songs that we haven't played since 2007, when it was like EDM but more than EDM, was it like Baltimore and stuff like that were popping off. Like you can play that stuff again because Massive and Sticky and those songs take you up there, and now you're up there, so you could do a quick little
Also,
5
that
to 10
new
song set.
Uzi Vert new song.
I play that, and that is, I would say, the hottest song in the club right now. I've never seen people go so bananas to that, and it's like a 2-minute song that repeats itself.
Yeah, he's not even rapping. It's just the
nothing.
beat.
It's
Yeah.
just
you
like,
almost gotta
as
run
soon
it-
as you
you
hear it,
almost
like
gotta run it back at least once.
you're like, oh, the club goes insane. They just start jumping. And when I say the club goes insane, party goers in LA don't go insane. So when you see people in LA jumping up and down and dancing to a song, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is something special, because as we talked about before the podcast even started, LA energy and San Diego energy and Vegas energy and Miami and New York energy, LA is at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the crowd giving you energy and love and feeding you. But then you get used to this really like mellow vibe. And so when you're killing it, when they're like really giving you energy and love, you're like, wow, this song is a banger.
I think someone tweeted out. I think it was Low Budget. Shout to LB.
Low BZ.
Yeah, but he was saying that new Little Uzi Vert joint is that the biggest Jersey club record of all time? Everyone's been asking.
I don't know about
It
that,
did
man.
give me those vibes.
Because what other Jersey club record has been as big as that?
Omni-ish was pretty big.
Was
that considered
that's
Jersey
Baltimore
club? Baltimore club?
Yeah, it's borderline Baltimore club.
Yeah.
And that was someone tweeted that out. That,
Yeah.
that DJ Class, I'm
Yeah.
the Ish, is up there between the Jersey club and Baltimore.
It might be. It might be.
I
I
don't
can't
know.
off the top of my head think of anything else that might be.
To me, the DJ Class record didn't age that well.
No.
Nah, it was like a moment, right? What was that 08?
Yeah.
Around there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And people are saying they still run it, but I don't really see how you can
Maybe
still run
early
that
in the night.
I actually ran it back for the first time in a long time last weekend.
You did?
'Cause I was up in that BP and I was like, fuck it, let's see what
There's
happens.
so many
And it went off.
versions of that song, too.
It's
The
so
Kanye.
weird. What's that other song that's like hate, 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 hate? I don't care what bitches say.
Chele?
Yeah,
Shelly, yeah.
Took the night.
Took the night.
Yeah.
I figured that song should be way bigger now.
Yeah.
I feel like that sounds like a great song now.
That was actually a really, really, really good song at the time, too.
But I feel like that,
poppin'.
there's this new generation doesn't know what the fuck that song is.
Yeah.
It's too old
Play
school for
all
them.
new stuff. I don't run that stuff back unless
don't.
I'm at a wedding.
Really?
And I don't do that many weddings, but if I do, I dig into my crates for songs that were hot and from 2007 to 2012, and I'm like, oh yeah,
And it was
oh,
so
yeah,
women friendly.
oh yeah. But like, I barely have enough time from 11 to 2, and really in LA people arrive at midnight. So from midnight to 2, I barely have enough time to get through all the new hip hop.
It's like 1:30.
I don't run too much back
Yeah.
unless I'm doing a quick throwback to like a quick Jay-Z or Nuck If You Buck or something like that, and then right back to new stuff.
Are you still playing Jay-Z in the club?
I play Jay-Z, you don't know, because it's part of a little
Like
She got a little
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 run of
routine?
songs that I
Yeah.
do. Yeah, a little mini routine when I need to wake people up.
Wait, are you not playing Kanye and all this stuff?
It's very easy for me to take a stand. There's so much music to play. So I don't understand DJs who are complaining about not being able to play Kanye in the club. Like, the man has gone full-blown cuckoo. Why do we
Right.
need his music in the club? If you need a certain artist's music to make your set pop, you're not that great. You need to work on your set. You need to work on making the other songs work for you, because there's no one artist except Drake, that any of us really need in a hip
Yeah, I
hop
was gonna say
club.
you might need Drake.
I need Drake. I play a ton of Drake, and so far he hasn't let me down too much in terms of his personal life. So I'm not too worried about that. It's like,
So you've X'd out like Tory Lanez, like Kanye West.
I don't know. Tory was hard for me.
She liked Tory Lanez music.
I did Tory Lanez like New Year's Eve with him twice at like Rockwell. So he's a great performer, a very charismatic person and presence, and he's such an amazing vocalist. And so this
But he's also
ordeal
like,
with
he's also shooting women.
he's terrible.
Yeah.
His actions and behavior are absolutely terrible.
Did you stop playing them the moment the story got out?
I X'd out R. Kelly immediately.
I mean, that was an easy one.
I X'd out Kanye multiple times throughout his career. When he would do something, I would put him on
But you would
ice.
stop, but then you would play it again. After it
And then
settled down.
but
Kanye was
after
cool to
this
play
last-
again
It
at
was.
a certain point.
After a
Yeah,
while,
exactly,
he'd come
yeah.
out with a new album, something was really
The
got
documentary.
good, it would
Yeah.
kill it, and I'd be like, okay, we're good with Kanye again. And then after a while, with Tory, when the stuff happened with Meg the Stallion, so much of the story was convoluted and you didn't know what was true and what wasn't, that all DJs sort of kept continuing with Tory,
Yeah.
I feel like, until finally Meg did a couple interviews where she came out and she really condemned what had happened and explained what had happened. And at that point, I was like, all right, we're done
Wait,
with
so
that.
you stopped then? Because I feel like most people didn't stop till they heard the guilty verdict.
Yeah, then it stopped till the verdict came out.
Yeah.
I heard an interview that she did. I think with Gail.
Yeah,
and
yes.
that when she said when the verdict and when the case goes to court, you will all see the truth. And I was like, well, I don't want to be the last one still playing Tory out here. Like, I don't need to be out here defending a man if he shot a woman. So I X'd him out, and Kanye's behavior the last 6 months is honestly just intolerable. Like, I have no issues with Xing out an artist when it's like
I haven't played Tory in
intolerable.
like years.
Yeah.
Really?
Years.
Not even like Ferris wheel?
When did that shooting happen?
2020.
2 years ago.
July.
Yeah, I stopped at 2020.
Okay, so you stopped when the event happened. I wasn't
Yeah.
keeping up with details of the event until I heard Meg the Stallion actually do the interview.
When artists started taking him, like when Kehlani took him off of record, right?
You knew that something was coming
And I was just like,
for him.
yeah, I think I heard a DJ play something, and I was out and about, and I heard the DJ play Tory, played 2 Tory songs in like 45 minutes. And a group of girls were like in the front, and they kind of looked at him, and then they
That's
walked.
a bit much. 2 Tory songs
Yeah,
in
that's a lot,
45
man.
minutes.
But yo,
is a
like
bit
motherfuckers
much.
don't care.
He
The worst
hasn't had a
fun.
big hit in not several years, but a few years. So
Yeah, but it's like an early part of the night. He's a
Early
good
part
early
of the
warm
night,
up, right?
Yeah, because he's a good vocalist and his songs are catchy. But yeah,
But they weren't
once
like
I
that
learned
big.
the details of
He doesn't
the
have a
event.
big hit, but he has like a good
Yeah.
He has a
warm
good-
up, keep
yeah,
it
warm up.
dancing shit.
Even before the incident, I didn't even play too much Tory Lanez to begin with.
I mean, like Ferris wheel.
Yeah, Ferris
That's
was
about
like,
it. Yeah.
The one that
Freaky.
Lady Sha, Freaky was Lady Sha's. I remember when we did the 2019 the 100th episode for the R.O.A.D podcast. She threw that in as one of the songs of the summer for herself.
But more so that year, we were still talking about Sweetie, My Type,
Yeah.
and City Girls Act Right. I remember that episode. We were like, it really comes down to those two, and I think I gave him an honorable mention. But yeah, now I'm like, oh, what a bummer, can't play him anymore.
I was like, because you liked his music pretty like a lot. I've seen you post it.
I've also stopped playing DaBaby. Is that anyone else?
Well, I feel like
find
he
him
was almost pretty easy to stop
That
playing.
wasn't
Yeah,
hard.
that wasn't
easier.
him. He had
But here's the thing with
2
the
songs
baby.
we couldn't play. Wow.
When did you stop playing him?
When I can't remember if him or Danny Lay live streamed him kicking her out with her newborn.
Oh, the baby with the cops.
There was a live stream.
So it wasn't about the rant, when the homophobic rant.
Did that happen before or after that? I think it was all in the
No, it
same
happened
week
after.
that he had a
After.
huge
It
meltdown
happened
where he
after
like.
that.
No, for me it was like
It was
him
like the
kicking
same
out-
month,
Yeah,
right?
he
Yeah.
called the cops on his, newborn and Danny Lay, and like
This is the
that
most
newborn
gossipy
was
we've
like
ever
5.
sounded.
Yeah, okay. We came in hot. We started right away.
You know what this became? This became y'all group chat. The tea time over here. Tea time.
Lady Sha brought the gossip here.
Yeah, she's so spicy with it.
Anyways, DaBaby, I used to think he was like.
I feel like I should get my nails done and shit. We should like talk some more shit.
Get a pedicure.
Talk about it, girlfriend.
Who else have we exited
Who else?
out? Okay, well listen.
I'm gonna tell you something. I naturally stopped playing DaBaby because he just kept dropping.
He just started sounding the
Trash.
same.
He's annoying as hell.
Someone
now,
was like-
at first I thought he was great, and now I think he's annoying as hell. And then he started acting crazy
Well, he
on
just-
stage.
And then all his shit is
doing
like
that,
sounding
and
the same. The
Yeah.
same style of rap. It's like
and so Tori and DaBaby weren't that hard to cut from our sets. Kanye, he hasn't had a hit in a few years, so that wasn't very hard for me to cut either. My issue is with DJs on Twitter and Instagram. Like when I comment on something that someone's posted saying, "Why are we still playing Kanye?" I get all these trolls talking
I think you're wrong
back.
about Kanye. I think he
What?
got some classic ass shit.
Yeah.
No, he does.
And they were starting to
And
bubble
I'll put-
again.
I would-
All falls
I
down.
would-
Father Stretch My Hands.
I owe it part 1 and part 2. I play all of it. I
know.
used to play
Father
all
Stretch
of
My
it.
I know.
Father Stretch My Hands is like a LA anthem,
Yeah,
right? You
part
just
1
said that
and
gets.
part 2. All of it.
If everything's
Like, we'll
going
run-
wrong in LA, you could drop Father Stretch My Hands and everyone will start jumping.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
because it has the line about the models.
Can't
but
tell me nothing.
it can't tell me
I think
nothing.
I think because it has Kid Cudi in it.
and
'cause
then
everyone in LA loves
anything
it.
from there's like bangers from Watch the Throne. So now
Yeah.
Jay-Z's been dragged into this. Like we can't play Watch
Wait,
the
wait,
Throne.
but-
no, come on.
Can't stop.
But some of y'all are playing
Paris.
Paris, right?
I'm not. No, that's
You can
played out.
you can still
It's
play Paris.
Other songs.
You can play Jay-Z for
You
verse,
could.
and then when Kanye comes,
Get out
you
of it.
just get out of it. Yeah.
Listen, it's been rough, guys.
I
But
I kind of.
Did you stop playing Wiz Khalifa?
What? Oh, here we go.
wasn't playing him to begin with, so that one wasn't hard.
Lady Sha with the shots, boy. It'll be a
mean,
different
shit.
story if I was there, huh, Lady Sha?
So what, you wasn't playing? What was his new single? What was his new single? Big Booty Bitches.
Yeah.
Didn't even download it.
I mean, it was pretty
not
horrible.
necessary for my sets.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Jamie's bringing this up because.
And I'm not happy with what happened, so now I
Yeah.
won't bother downloading him again because anyone who disrespects a DJ, like the technical problems are happening when you're at a club. Artists that don't bring their own DJs for their club performance deserve whatever ends up happening. I don't like when artists show up and you think they're coming with their own DJ and they don't, and then they expect you to be able to DJ their whole set for them. It's one thing if they prepared you in advance, but oftentimes you're told the artist is coming, they'll bring their own DJ, and they pop up with no DJ,
Yeah.
and then just start, like yelling in your ear to play songs, and you just have to be able to roll with the punches. Now, if you were not prepared in advance for that, given any sort of like text with a quick set list or anything to have prepared, now you're searching for stuff, and like, whose fault is that? Not the DJs, in my opinion.
I mean,
so then
we're
things are
talking.
going wrong.
just
Bring
for-
it back, Cricket. Bring
well,
it back.
just for a little background, we're talking about this because
She's been holding on to the. Look at her. She's winning herself.
we're talking about this because Wiz Khalifa. We're talking about the incident where Wiz Khalifa was talking shit to a DJ at Poppy.
Mikey
Yeah.
Danger.
An
and
incredible
Mike Dan-
DJ. Mike
and-
Danger's incredible.
And Shaw is a resident at Poppy.
It
and,
could
you
have
know,
easily been me that night.
It wouldn't have happened to you.
Yeah, he wouldn't have done that.
And it wasn't Mikey Danger's
Who
fault,
knows?
from what I've heard.
No,
in the
it
back,
wasn't. There
in
was,
the grapevine.
as you see in any of those videos, there's 400 people in a booth made for 5. It's overcrowded with people at the DJ booth level, people on the table behind it, people on the booth behind that, people on the top of the booth behind that, just climbing all the way up to the ceiling. There's people. And so there's way too many people in there, and it's like the artist wants to stand at the very top and back of that
What we
booth
should do-
and do like a telephone chain of commands until it finally gets to the DJ, or we have an MC on most of our nights, like at Poppy and Bootsy, until it gets to the MC.
What we should do is talk to H Wood Hospitality, ask them why they're always trying to build tables behind the DJ booth. Like they
That's not
they
it.
don't want the DJ to have
Yeah.
any personal space at all.
No.
I think that's
They
one
wanna
of the
sell that
venues.
real estate.
But it's not. It's like a boiler room situation without boiler room protection.
I just went to Bootsy Bellows recently, and that shit is tight too.
I'm tight.
That's another H Wood property, right?
Tide is in a small space.
Yeah.
But they have other places.
But
where
they're
the DJ
selling
booth has
tables
space.
in the DJ booth.
Yeah, okay.
You know, which I get it because it's like, you
like
know.
2 feet
I get
from
it.
your behind.
Yeah, but Poppy's really bad.
Poppy, and there's only 2 short, like very small spaces on your left and right for 15 people to
And
enter
for a
and
petite
sit
girl
at their
like you,
table.
I mean, you need your,
Thank you.
you know. No,
Talk about it.
but no, I
I'm
mean,
not cushioning on my butt, so I'm just like I start twerking to make space for myself.
That's
as
her
I'm
defense.
DJing. Yeah,
Twerk,
but yo,
twerk.
you're in a lot of hood ass, ratchet ass LA
She's like
rooms.
the sweetest
but
thing.
I would say that I think that right there is why I kept looking back at you at Rockwell the first night you came to see me DJ, because I was like, Cricket's never heard me play, and I'm just, just such a nice girl.
Yeah.
I opened
Like,
for Shaw a few
DJs are
times.
like, what's a nice girl like you doing in a place like this?
Bro, I opened for Shaw at Lock and Key in its prime, like 2014. And her and her girls, man.
We love hip hop.
Dude.
We love reggae. We love hip hop. I have love for EDM.
No, I don't even. There's probably
It doesn't hit me in my soul and heart the way hip hop does. And so it's not, I mean, I don't want to say hip hop and hood are the same thing. It's just that all clubs in LA right now want hip hop. And it doesn't matter if it's a Wednesday night or a Friday night or a Saturday night. Honestly, all the nights want hip hop, and it's just it's live. The energy is great, and you also, because it's LA, just like in Vegas or Miami or New York, like you have NBA players coming in after the games, you have football players who are in town, you have awards shows, and then after the awards shows, celebrities are coming in or whoever's in town. It's a very exciting energy because you never know who's going to be there in the room and which way you're going to take the night. And so,
Have you always been a hip hop head?
no, I grew up listening to rock and roll, and like I remember I got very turned off to hip hop when I was like 10, and LA went all gangster rap in the 90s, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna turn the dial to K-Rock, and I listened
K-Rock
to
is
K-Rock
fun.
all the way up till I went to college. I went to UC Berkeley. At UC Berkeley, I started learning how to DJ there, and then going to record stores, and then I was like, the Bay Area was so rich with underground hip hop vibes, like Black Alicious, and you were record digging for Black Alicious, Mos Def, Farside, J Rock, like that was Hieroglyphics,
Yeah.
Dilated Peoples. Those were all my first records, and so I came back to hip hop through this underground backpacker hip hop route, and then when I needed to make money DJing actual bottle service nightclubs, then I had to start going and buying 50 Cent and Yin Yang Twins and all those records for $5.99 a record. Like, I still have the price tags on all the records I bought in the 2000s, and I was like, ugh. And then Serato came out, and we were like, oh, thank God, I don't have to pay $6 a record anymore, because I'm sure you were cool and you were all part of record pools, but I was dishing out $5.99 per song I wanted to play. And
I love it that you were on vinyl.
Yeah.
You're
I was
one
on
of the,
vinyl
yeah.
for like I started learning in 2002 and didn't get Serato till 2006. So I have like just crates and crates and crates of vinyl, and I would just put them in rolling suitcases and roll to the club. Like, I would
Smart.
DJ my first club. Do you remember Hollywood and Highland had a club right here? Highland, I think it was called Highland.
The Highland.
Oh yeah,
The Highland or
Highland.
something. Yeah, I would DJ there and bring all my records in rolling suitcases.
How many crates did you bring?
I would
How many
start-
suitcases did you bring? More.
3.
3. Wow.
Damn.
Three
suitcases
suitcases.
of records, because I just didn't. I wanted to be prepared for every scenario.
What do you mean?
and
What do you mean
everything.
suitcases?
She
What
put
were
them
you
in
bringing?
I would put them
to
in
roll 'em
rolling
around.
suitcases,
In like roller bags.
like bags you would check in an airport.
So how would you set up
carry
your,
on?
How would you set up your records if you had them in a suitcase?
I would open. I would turn the suitcase on its side, open it, and then just
Stack them up.
as if it's a crate, and just lift the records up and be able to go through them.
I've
like
never
that.
seen that in my
She was like,
Ah.
the blue suitcase was rock, the red suitcase was
Yeah.
hip hop.
Really?
I had them
You
organized
different
by
color?
BPM because I knew I could go from genre to genre. I just needed them organized by BPM.
Oh,
Wait, you had different color suitcases for?
No, I didn't have
genre?
different
Oh,
colors
okay. I was
suitcases.
like,
They
damn.
were all black. So, and I had some record carrying bags and a couple, but I wasn't going to go out and buy a whole bunch of record carrying luggage. So
Yeah.
I just used my carry-on suitcases with wheels on the bottom to get the Highland was like on the
third level
floor. Yeah, third floor of a 6-floor structure. Like you're parked on like -4 level of the parking, and you got to get to there was elevators and escalators involved.
Wow. Sha, you pay dues.
Rolling suitcase.
You pay dues, Sha.
I know. For how young I am?
Yeah, 27. Go ahead.
I didn't know you paid dues like this.
Yeah.
Do you remember what was the poppin' record store in the Bay?
It was called the B-Sides, and there was another one, but that one was more reggae. I forget the name of it, but that one is where I got a lot. And then B-Sides opened, and I couldn't walk in there without spending like $250 on records, and that was a lot in the early 2000s. And my only income was from lifeguarding and teaching swim lessons in between classes. So that was my hustle.
Wow. Were you an Order-Fonts girl or a Shore girl?
Always Shore from the beginning.
Yes. Really?
DJ Fatrick taught me right. DJ Fatrick, who there's
Wait,
another.
how do you spell that?
Fatrick, P-H.
Like a fat trick?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Patrick.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not
Fatrick. He's Asian from Texas, Fatrick. And he also runs a party here in LA called Mom. MOM Motown on Mondays. You got to know that party with Mona Lisa and DJ Jedi. So he was my neighbor in college, and he started a student taught DJ course on campus and convinced me to take his class. And from the beginning, he taught me.
What was he charging?
Well. No, it was free. It was
free.
UC Berkeley had this option for students to start their own classes that they wanted to teach called decals. And as long as you got enough students to sit their butts in the seats, like your decal, I don't know if it would be funded, but it would be approved.
And you get fully
count?
accredited?
I can't remember if we got 1 or 2 credits for it, or it was just an extra.
What'd you do it for, the credits?
I don't think so. I remember he just needed people to sit in the class. I had no interest in DJing. I was playing guitar and singing and writing songs like Ani DiFranco, and I thought I was gonna like be a little acoustic Lauryn Hill, Ani DiFranco, like folk singer.
Oh.
I know, super not opposite of what I do now, but I was like a little.
You wanted to be like Jewel. She wanted to be like Jewel.
Who's the other
God.
girl?
JoJo?
The Indian girl?
Jewel, Sarah McLaughlin.
Nelly Furtado?
No, the Indian chick.
The Indian.
MIA?
Oh, no. I know who you're talking about.
The folk singer?
All I know is Lauryn Hill, but unplugged. Like the unplugged album she put out later. That was like
the one with the guitar.
Shit, yeah.
It was just her
was
like
amazing.
singing on what is it? Was it MTV
Unplugged, yeah.
That unplugged album, I was like, that's it.
Yeah, she was going through it. She was like crying.
Yeah, it was rough. That was
with
Nora Jones.
Nora Jones.
Nora Jones.
Yeah, but she was jazzy.
No, I was like, I was just me and my little guitar, open mics, doing all that, and then also trying to be pre-med, also trying to be an anthropology major. And then DJ Fatrick was like, just come sit in my class. I just need like bodies in the seats. And then he trained us all right. Sure, M447s, like techniques only, like how to label your records, how to just like use a stopwatch and figure out the BPM of a record, write it down, like label your stuff. Wow. Like he would hit me on the arm as I was trying to beat match. I mean, like this.
So you started getting into
borderline physical abuse, but it worked.
Yeah.
And
like he had a vula.
Me
Not
and
like
Patrick
that.
like take pride. He would like hit my arm as I'm trying to beat match, and like
Wait, so at what point were you starting to get into it?
2002, and all the DJs in the Bay Area, like there were some pioneer female DJs in the Bay Area, like DJ Netta, who just came out with a book about hip hop, like an era of hip hop that she just wrote about, but she was like a pioneer female DJ in the Bay. And then there were other DJs like, what is it, D'Android, Selsky and D'Android or something like that. I forget. It was a Filipino 2 female DJ duo, a lot of amazing scratch female DJs in the Bay, and then just tons of like other DJs like DJ Sake One and Zeta and a bunch of people like DJing in the Bay Area in the early 2000s. So there were always parties to go to, always block parties. There was lots of inspiration, and I began to just start opening for DJs and like just do sets and at parties that all the homies were throwing, and then going to B-sides and buying the records, and like then going to bars and clubs around town and asking if I could DJ there. And then once I graduated from Cal, I moved home to LA and hit the pavement running, just like going and I did all the things I thought I was supposed to do, like had business cards and would like go and meet all the club owners and promoters and pass out business cards and make, you know, CDs and like be handing out mix CDs. And then I realized it's really about relationships and letting those take time to grow and flourish, than forcing someone to take your mix CD and asking them if you can DJ their spot. It doesn't work like that. And I learned that over the years.
It's interesting to me, like how you came up, because the style, when I heard you, right, when I heard you DJ in Miami at Rockwell, you have this aggressive East Coast style. So when I heard you, you're quick mixing, you know, you're just hitting them over and over, and it's aggressive. And it's like, you know, when I heard you, I think you were saying you were like turning around to see my reaction. I was just really impressed, but then I was also I was like, where did she get this style from? Like,
I know
where
you
did
kept
she learn this?
asking me if I was from the East Coast that night, and I was like, no, I'm from LA.
Because
I
don't know, to this day, I don't know if I've ever seen an LA DJ spin hip hop as well as you.
Thank you. Wow.
Maybe Night Train.
Dre Sinatra's well too.
Dre Sinatra's nasty too. Yeah.
Homicide.
Yeah.
There's
No, Homicide has a very AM style.
Yeah.
He has a very AM
okay.
style. Night Train has
He's
a kind of a hybrid, right? He's still doing like kind of like wordplay shit, which is kind of like more West Coasty. But you have, like, to me, a straight party rocking East Coast, like quick mixing, high energy.
I wonder
set.
if that's because I am chasing the high of a crowd going wild in LA, a city where the crowd does not go wild as you want them to. So I think I overcompensate by quick mixing and trying to hit them back to back with things that'll move the needle of the energy of the room up.
Yeah.
Because I only have so much time in LA to make that happen, and I don't want it to be 1:30 and I still haven't felt the crowd swell.
So you developed the style because of the time constraints of just LA nightlife ending at like 1:45, 2 a.m.
Because when I would go to the East Coast, I would have to hold back and be like, wait, you have like hours ahead of you.
I mean, we
So
don't hold
slow
back.
down.
We just we keep quick mixing.
Yeah, man. We just keep going.
No, but she's not saying like kind of get everything
From the beginning
out
to
in
the
one
end.
hour and a half.
Here you have to get it out between 12:30 and
Yeah.
1:45.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why there were periods of time where I felt like when you're DJing a special event or a wedding or something like that, and you see the crowd look at you when you mix out of a song too fast, and you have to check yourself and be like, whew, this is not a bottle service club at 12:45. Like, these people want both verses, both choruses,
Yeah,
and you
they
got to
want a
let
song
songs
longer.
breathe.
You know what?
Yeah.
I have a question, actually, now that we're bringing this up. So, like, Jamie's thinking that I'm saying, like, yo, like, when we DJ in New York, your prime time is like, I don't know, 11:45 to close, right?
In LA.
In LA.
Yes.
In New York, our prime time would be what? 12:45? 1?
Like 1 o'clock, man.
Yeah.
1:15 around there.
Like,
Yeah.
but here's the thing in New York. If you could go till 2 a.m. and not play one new banger, then you really got them, and you're gonna
You're
keep
golden.
them till
Yeah.
They keep going.
5 a.m.
That's what she said about holding back.
I hold
Right.
off till 12:30
Right.
here, and
Yeah.
then let loose till 1:45.
But the thing is that I'm wondering, right? Because for some reason, and I was wondering this, because of the resurgence of all of these 90s and 2000s parties on the West Coast, did you guys have a proper scene where you guys were playing R&B and classics in the beginning of the night? You guys don't really have that at all.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
R&B, yes, but not old R&B. We're playing new R&B.
And that's the
What
thing.
she, oh
yeah.
wait, what deck? What are you like? Can you like?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Decipher
explain.
that?
Well, like in New York in the 2000s and probably a lot in the maybe in the 90s, late 90s or so, you would start the night off with classics.
With George Benson,
Give me the night.
Give Me the Night. And you-
Michael
Yes,
Jackson.
well, no, you know what? You would actually start the night with like Rising to the Top. Like,
That's all in the same. Yeah,
All
Rise
that
Top,
shit,
all
yeah.
night long. Mary Jane Girls.
No, but you kind of started at like 90, 100 BPM. And then
Yeah.
as you went to 11 o'clock, you were like, let's do 110, 120.
Yeah, it goes up. Yeah, the BPM goes up as the night goes.
No.
But see, that was like New York.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So like my favorite part of like
All right,
when,
what time did the night start in New York, Kirk?
all right, so like I'll paint the picture for you.
Yeah, let's do that.
So like I would go into like Spa, or I would go into like,
Lotus.
remember that club Plaid? I
Yeah.
think it was like, I don't, you know.
I remember that spot.
Yeah, there was like all these clubs. I would hear like Mark Ronson and different at Park or whatever the fuck. But I would love to go at like 11 o'clock because that's when I would hear like all the classics. You would hear like George Benson. You'd hear Stevie Wonder, like Michael Jackson, Roy Ayers,
Michael Jackson, yeah,
Prince. You'd hear all that classic shit.
Yeah.
Wham, right?
Yeah.
all the 80s shit.
even like fucking Rolling Stones, Miss You.
Yeah, In Excess, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear some U2 as well or whatever, and then around 12 you kind of feel it out and you're like, all right, let's hit them with some 90s R&B or 2000s R&B. And then you kind of fill it out to like 1 o'clock. Are they ready for the hip hop yet? And then you either pull the trigger or you hold back depending on how the crowd is. But I was wondering if LA or the West Coast had that scene.
But you're saying it's just more like new R&B.
Like, for instance,
So you playing like Her, like shit like that?
it's been like, in
But this is in the 2000s. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
let me say in the 2000s, maybe I would have sprinkled a little bit of that in. But for the most part, I'm playing current R&B of the time.
Yeah.
And like new hip hop that isn't primetime hip hop from in that first hour or like first hour and a half. Unless there's an opener, then they're doing that. And then when I get on, I'm still holding back another 30 minutes and then going in.
Right.
So he's playing like
in Miami, the night is so long. I had an opener from like 11 to 1:30. I'd get on at 1:30 and go till 4, and sometimes all the way till 5. Or the opener would get on for that last 30 minutes to an hour. But in LA, the night is so short that oftentimes I'm just like, the doors open at 11, and by 12:30. It's packed and it's time to go in. And so from 11 to 12:30, and not just me, I feel like a lot of us are playing like to me, new R&B would be like Blast. He's local. And LA loves their local artists like Blast and Bino Rideau and like
Yeah.
I think it's pronounced Kalen for real.
Filipinos love Blast.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Blast
he's R&B, bro.
He's
voice,
R&B.
yeah.
And like
Filipinos
even
love
Ty
R&B.
Dolla $ign has
but
R&B
they really
bangers.
love
T-Fly.
Filipinos love Blast.
I think everybody does. In LA, everybody does.
No, but not like
all
Filipinos.
ethnicities. Okay, I don't know about Filipinos, but like white people, black people, everybody is feeling Blast. It's
I don't
not
know
gonna
about that
play
in like
Blast
Vegas.
at,
Like you,
Bro, well, his
I've gotten
in
white
LA.
people coming to me and ask for Blast.
really?
Okay,
It
are we
surprises
counting?
me. I'm
Like
really?
take it or leave it.
Are we?
He's so stupid.
Like I don't need to. I
Take it or
like
leave it.
look. I like Blast a lot. I don't need to play a Blast record at all. Like even early in the night.
I
or
play a
whatever.
few. I play a few. The
Well,
first
Chosen
the
is a
first
must,
hour.
right?
Chosen's a must.
Chosen's
Yeah.
played out. Now there's more. There's
Yeah.
like, his other hits. He has stuff with like Zachariah and Buddy and a bunch of like local LA artists that we just like sprinkle in, and LA heads who are in the club carry the room for the rest of the people because they're like, this is dope, and people are looking at them going, I don't know this. Oh, he thinks it's dope. Okay, it's dope. Or they think that table is going off. Okay, so that LA really we in LA rep LA music in our hip hop clubs for the first hour and a half, and then maybe a little bit more later in the night, and we'll drop like YG and stuff like that. That always gets head nods. That's the energy you're gonna get in LA.
Yeah.
A good solid head nod. So you're like, that's what you're going for. So I don't know if we do you count Vegas as West Coast when you're
course.
comparing?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't. I think LA is West Coast. Vegas is Vegas.
No.
Vegas is its own entity. So
You're-
I cannot
no
group
way.
the two cities together.
You're crazy.
Is it?
Why?
No, I can see why she's saying that because it's
Yeah.
such a transit city.
Yeah, but
Everyone's there.
Yeah, but everyone in
Our
Vegas.
style of DJing is so different. In fact, you guys are more like a Miami where your night starts late and goes late.
Yeah, but
And-
the thing is that Bay Area music, West Coast music hits fucking hard in Vegas, and it always has. Vegas,
But
and-
not Blast.
I mean, but I could
Not really.
believe it, you
Early
know?
the night, maybe.
The problem in Vegas is high energy when doors open.
Right.
There isn't like this.
There's no
if you have a
build-up.
chill, vibey energy, a manager might come up and be like, "Hey, let's
pick it up.
turn it up. Let's pick it up."
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Where West Coast, you can kind of vibe it out a little bit more.
You can vibe out the first hour,
Yeah.
hour and a half.
I mean, some of your parties, even now, like, are just all vibes.
But when you asked earlier if we have like actual classic hip hop R&B parties, there are spots for that. Like, you know, if you go to the Dime any night of the week on Fairfax, you're going to hear 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B. The Dime is known for that. So there's certain venues that cater to that music.
But there's no spot where there's just a gradual progression.
Well, I think
Because
there's
the night is so short, you don't have
think
time
there
for a
is-
gradual.
there- I can't think of a club where you're going to hear George Benson and Stevie the first hour.
Well, that's what
and then,
to me, I think some of the DJs in the West Coast, right? They lost some of that education.
They didn't get that experience. Yes.
Well, they don't have that. They didn't need to go digging for those records. The first those 2 hours from 10 to 12 were vital to me. I learned so much, and I started stacking my 80s R&B, my 70s, my disco.
I guess
Whereas,
I'm
like,
lucky because I got that. I got a little bit of that era where
Right.
I had to like, oh, I recognize that sample. Where do I know that sample from?
Yeah.
And like connecting old and new.
Right.
And now people, like new artists, are sampling songs from 10 years ago, and people are like, what's that sample? Oh, it's that old school song. I'm like, from 2015? That's not old school.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like in
you're
Vegas,
thinking-
like at the end of the night, like 5 a.m., you and I would do like an 80s R&B set.
Yeah, we just have fun. Yeah.
But then if we're with West Coast motherfuckers, the most they're going to play is like, Cutie Pie or like,
definitely any Michael Jackson.
yeah, like obvious ass shit, but they're not playing like, like even at that time, they were not playing fucking Saturday Love.
Yeah,
They weren't
They was playing
playing
Frankie Beverly. I mean, they might be doing it now because
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Beyonce, but before that.
But
nah, it
again,
was
there
playing.
are parties for that here. Cherry Poppin' Wednesdays was another party where you would hear all that music. The Dime.
But see, like in New York, you had to notice in every hotspot. Like you had to know. It was like, it was a part of the
Shalimar.
yeah, Shalimar. You had to know all of this shit. You know what I
Would
mean?
you say now in 2023 that's still the case?
No.
Well,
Okay.
Cricket had brought that up because he says, "Do you think the surgence of all these parties now, like the Cherry, the Dime, is happening because they never had it before?"
Yeah, because I'm saying like
In the
I don't think there
mid-2000s.
was an R&B scene
And
where
the
they
thing is
appreciated the
that
classics and all that shit.
People attending the Dime, Cherry Poppin' Wednesdays, which actually just ended its like historic many-year run, and like a party like Sadiq on Wednesday nights. These parties and places go off because club goers did hear this music, whether it was through their parents playing it or their older siblings playing
Yeah.
it. And there is a nostalgia and obviously a desire to hear that and sing at the top of your lungs to a Mary J. a cappella at 1 a.m. That is a market that's now being fulfilled, like a desire of party goers to go to that. Those same party goers also go to Poppy on a Friday and Bootsy on a Saturday and turn up, but now they're also going to a Sadiq on a Wednesday or a Dime on a Thursday and like, getting their throwback jams and working that out.
So when you came back from Berkeley to LA, what were you playing on like the nightly routine at those bars?
50 Cent, Ying Yang Twins. That was all like,
She was playing all the 2000s hits.
Because I was DJing both. Like I was throwing my own parties with my business partner Anisha, and we organized a company called Linus LA. We'd throw our own parties, and we'd have the homies spin. Like DJ Puffs would come through, and Step One would come through and analyze, and like we just like have the homies come and spin and do our own music where we would play some Stevie and some Shalimar and Frankie Beverly and all that. Like we would get into that and then go into hip hop and a little bit of like dance music and everything at our own parties that we would throw. But when I would go to straight up jiggy club to DJ, it was just
the hot
50
shit.
Cent, Yin Yang,
So there was no
Straight up
Stevie
hip-hop.
being
John,
played.
all the jiggy stuff. And that was what I was like still at that time paying like $5.99, $6.99 a record for. And then thankfully, Serato and LimeWire freed it all up.
So
In the hip hop clubs, even now, like the Latin music hasn't really crept in at all.
There was a moment in LA when reggaeton like kind of made it back in, and now the only reggaeton that's making it is Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
So like I feel like sometimes a reggaeton banger comes on, like if Cardi B's on it or something like that, and like it takes over the club for a little bit. But for the most part, I feel like I play way more reggaeton in Miami than I do in LA clubs. And in LA clubs, sprinkling in just a couple Bad Bunny hits is like, that's required, but also don't do it too much. They still just want to stick with like a hip hop format. And now you can sprinkle in Afro beats too. A little Burna Boy, a little Wizkid, a little Bad Bunny. Okay, that's as international as we get here in LA. Like, don't expect anything more than that in LA. Whereas I think in Vegas, you can get more international with it. And in Miami, you can get way more reggaeton and Afrobeat with it because it's so close to the Caribbean. And also Europe is all up on their Afrobeats. And, you know, you have, it's much more, I feel like, a worldwide audience in Miami and Vegas. Sure. Whereas LA is a lot of locals in LA going out for the night. So they don't need to hear a bunch of like reggaeton in the night.
I think the great thing about LA right now is the Afrobeats has become part of the rotation a lot more. Whereas in Vegas, Afrobeats is probably like you could like sprinkle it in.
Maybe.
Didn't you say Last was one of your favorite songs?
It was, but I don't get to play it.
You don't get to play that.
As much.
It goes off in LA.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't get to play it. Yeah.
It's kind of
and I'll be honest with you. I've been at a couple of LA spots, and it's a good reaction, but it's not like the best reaction. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, but I also feel I feel like LA's weird because I feel like a lot of the times, you know, they request songs. It's the only city where motherfuckers who request songs are requesting shit to look cool. Does that make sense?
Let's say Hollywood. Let's not say LA.
I would say Hollywood.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I get.
That's literally nowhere else. Do I look at a motherfucker and be like, "You're requesting this so you can look cool," and I've never seen that anywhere else, except Hollywood, L.A., California.
I can see that. I can see how that observation would appear to you. Yeah.
So I also see like if there's tables there and then they know that Last is popping, or like some songs they should be on, I feel like they're gonna try to look cool and try to make it a part of the scene.
Like I told them to play that,
even though it may not really go off as it naturally would, like a YG record or some other shit. You know what I'm saying? But I could be wrong.
Let's break down the way a request gets to the DJ here in LA, and that is that it's got to be the request has to come from a table, and either the table has sent somebody up to the DJ booth to tip the DJ and ask for the request, or they've tipped their bottle service girl to run up to the DJ booth and put in the request, or you're getting a text from the promoter and the manager that a certain table wants a certain song. And
you're getting tipped in LA?
I am. I don't know about other people, but that's because as of late, I just ignore requests unless there's $100 bill attached to it. And I want that to be the standard, but it's not. And oftentimes people just shake it off and walk away, and they're like, oh, forget it. But I mean, I do think that if you're going to go and try to rearrange a DJ's whole set, you should come with money. I don't know if that's the case in Vegas. I don't know if that's the case in Miami. I feel like people just came to the DJ booth with money. Like, can you play this request?
See,
in LA, I actually tell people,
I think
you
LA
have to
would
tip for that.
I think LA would like not tip at all because the entitlement for Hollywood.
Depends.
I could be wrong though.
But it depends on the person and what manners they grew up with. But honestly, I think the way you can't like text a manager or promoter back and be like, well, have them send a tip to the DJ booth. You just do what's said when it's a manager or head promoter or somebody messaging they need something.
I also think with you being a woman DJ, I think it's
easier to ask for.
No, I think it's really embarrassing for a dude. He looks super broke, right? He looks super broke, telling you what to play, right? And then you look at him like,
Ching,
break.
Oh, you just gonna tell me like you ain't got no money? Like for real? Like if it was me, it'd be different, right? It'd be different, right? Is this a double standard?
No,
Am I
Am
wrong? Am I wrong?
I do that.
You can't tell. You
I
can't
do
really.
this.
You can't
I do
really.
this.
Fam.
It's
I'm like,
embarrassing.
yo,
I don't do this move. I just go,
embarrassing.
that's going to be 100. And they're like, what, for real? Or they'll be like, okay.
Really?
Like, oh, I don't have
I've had
cash
people
on
be
me.
like, "Oh, say less," and they pull out their wallet.
See,
Yeah.
never. Like, what would you do? Like $100? I feel like you'd be like, oh, that's nothing. Like, right?
Well, $100.
You don't want to act like, oh shit, man, $100.
I'll be like,
No, I mean,
you gotta,
more
you gotta be
people
cool
walk
about it. You be like,
away.
all right, $100. Yeah, all right.
You want a service? You're just gonna call.
You'd be like, oh, I left my wallet at the table. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Or yeah, they'll be like, I ain't got no cash. More people walk away than, let me be clear.
Yeah.
More people walk away than give me the 100.
Wait, so how do you
But
tell
then
them
I don't have to
100?
play the.
How do you tell them?
I go, that's going to be 100.
You do. Yeah. You know, I got in trouble once, and like must have been some ball player sat down right in front of me, and him and his wife kept telling me what to play, and then finally they were like, "Yo, are you gonna play it?" And I was just like this,
So you had a trauma,
and I was busy, and then all of a sudden they complained to the manager, and the manager's like, "Did you just ask them to tip you for the song?" And I said, "No, they just kept." I said I would play it later. They want it now. And I was busy, and I just went like this.
Right.
And they're like, we don't do that over here.
Right.
We don't solicit for tips for requests if they have a table and da da da. So and then it was like a big deal. Like there was an email out.
So you had a bad experience, Cricket.
It was crazy.
I feel bad now because there is a double standard.
Right.
If you're somebody I really don't know and you're coming up to ask for a song that I don't want to play or wasn't going to play or it's nowhere near anywhere I'm currently playing, then I'm going to be like, that's going to be 100. But if you're Dwight Howard, I'm like, what do you want? I'll play it. Like if it's somebody who's...
Wait, who's Dwight Howard?
Their
NBA.
Exactly why you
Their
got yelled at. He's
Their
Los
presence-
Angeles Lakers champion.
Their presence is simply elevating the atmosphere of the club. Like that celebrity is almost doing me a favor by being at my DJ set and engaging with me. And then I'm going to, and if their request isn't horrific, I'm going to play it.
Dwight Howard sounds like an amazing saxophonist. Dwight
He's
Howard.
one of the best dunkers of all time.
But the majority of the time when the celebrities come and request the songs, they tip you though, right? They'll be like,
No, celebrities don't tip.
they're entitled.
No,
No,
celebrities don't tip, and they are
That's
entitled.
what I just
and
said.
I don't even
it's
know if
not,
they're.
not all celebrities.
Often-
Just
Yes, they are.
I don't even-
maybe like 75%.
To be honest, I hear a lot of bartenders and servers say celebrities don't tip them either, which they're surprised about because there's a certain entitlement that comes with
They're used to having
certain
everything
celebrities
given to them.
have. Yeah,
Right.
they think the
Just
whole
like
thing
athletes.
should be comped.
Athletes, I heard, are the worst tippers ever.
No, for sure.
That's what I mean by celebrities. I mean
Yeah,
both
so they're
used to
athletes,
eating-
actors,
no,
But you got to be
singers,
specific.
rappers. Okay,
Because I feel like
That was mean like actors.
a lot
No,
of
no, no.
them.
Ball
Actor-
players.
Actors are different.
Wait.
No. I'm gonna break this
happening?
down.
Yeah, what's happening?
Oh, break down the celebrity.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
break
break
down
this
celebrity.
down. I'm gonna break this down. The reason why athletes don't know how to tip is from high school to the professional
To the
career,
league, yeah.
right? They're given everything for free.
Shit, from elementary school.
They're given free sneakers, free meals. They don't have to pay for shit.
They're broke.
Free college education, dorms. Everything is free.
Yeah.
An actor has to
grind.
work. They have to work as a waitress or a waiter, a host. They know how to carry shit. They know they're living off of tips because they're waiting for that big break or they're waiting for that one audition that's going to change their life.
Yeah.
That's the difference between
They
an
also
actor.
don't want the bad PR, whereas athletes don't so much
You know what?
care
Nah,
and
that's
expect
okay.
everything
I would say,
to be given to them for free. But yeah, I will take any celebrities. I group them all together from singers, rappers, actors.
Yes,
I don't. I think athletes.
You know who
I
should
think
all
tip
of
me?
athletes
them.
are
I
different
take all
animals.
of their requests because everyone in the club is excited to see them in the club. And if their table goes off to this request, the whole club is going to go. It's like a win-win situation for everybody if I cater to their request, as long as I think it's a good request.
Maybe you may be talking about more so the basketball because I feel like
I think anything.
You know what?
I got-
Jermaine O'Neal used to tip me good when when I was DJing that Jet.
boxers tip me.
Who's
good.
Jermaine O'Neal?
Oh my
He was
god, bro!
All I'll say is if any athletes are listening, on the back channels, we all talk. And so we know, which athletes do tip well and which don't.
I'll tell you who was the worst
And
tipper
reputations.
in New York history.
Who?
He was notoriously known the worst tipper in New York history.
Ewing.
Derek Jeter.
Oh, really?
The captain?
Derek Jeter did not tip.
Let me tell you how much money the captain made.
He was the fucking worst. He's the nicest dude ever. Everyone will say he's the nicest, greatest dude ever.
You got a basket.
He was the worst fucking tipper. I put athletes in this different category of denseness. Because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because all they are told to do is just be a great athlete. You don't have to be a nice person. You don't have to have manners. You don't have to do shit. Your whole life is focused on training. So they're like, yo, I trained. I won a championship. I go to practice. I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. That's how I see that. Actors, musicians, they can all be different.
Now, if that actor, athlete, singer, rapper sends a representative to the DJ booth, I'm much more comfortable telling that representative that tip is going to cost you. But if the actual celebrity, athlete, rapper, singer, whatever approaches the DJ booth to talk to me directly, I will take their request for the most part without asking for a tip. So I'm getting into the nitty gritty of tipping and when to ask for it and when to not. I'm not going to ask 2 Chainz. That's going to be 100. Whatever 2 Chainz asks me to play direct, I'll play that. Like that would
be amazing if you said to 2 Chainz, that's going to be
$100. He'd just be like, take off one of his rings. That's way more.
Here's 100 requests.
No, but there's certain people you can ask, certain people you can't, and more often than not, people walk away. But there's also never at a special event or a corporate event would I ask for a tip.
Oh, no, that's different.
There's 2 whole different spheres that I DJ in, and maybe a third if you want to count random weddings. But there's the way I DJ and behave and act and talk to people in a nightclub, and there's a way that I DJ and cater to and customize my playlist and everything to a special event or corporate event. So there's 2 big, it's a large, vast difference between the two.
I can't ever picture you being rude. Have you ever been rude? Have you ever gotten angry?
Have you ever yelled?
I can't even picture you getting angry.
I don't get angry. I get condescending, and I say maybe not nice things.
Like what?
To people. Like if some,
give me an example. I just pissed you off.
I want to get a taste of bitchy Sha.
I've DJ'd at a bunch of different bars here in LA, like Bar Lubitsch, Dime, Winston's, and those are very cozy atmosphere. People can walk right up to the DJ and talk to you. You're very much on the same plane as everybody, and it's small rooms and everyone's talking to everybody, so people feel very comfortable coming up to you. And if they come up in a rude way and make a rude demand or request or something, I'll tell them, no, I'm not playing that. Or if it's something like they ask for the obvious, like Drake just dropped an album and they ask for Drake, I lay into them. I'm like, did you think I was going to go the whole night without playing the top 3 bangers on the Billboard chart?
There it is. Go ahead.
But that's not even that bad.
That's not that bad. She's building up to it. Keep going.
I don't want to take it there right now.
But it doesn't even sound condescending. You just sound frustrated. So then I'd be like, I'm sorry.
But when
stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, that's the vibe. And if I'm yelling it really loudly over music 3 centimeters from someone's face, you can see how that could come off as rude.
But you don't look like the angry
I have gotten bad Yelp reviews.
Oh, shit.
Yo.
Not that DJ Lady Sha is on Yelp, but places I've DJ'd at, the managers or whatever will call me the next day and be like, yo,
they're like,
what happened last night?
They're like the Puerto Rican DJ was really rude.
The girl with the leather jacket.
Yeah, they're just always like,
the Puerto Rican girl was
that
so rude.
DJ was a bitch.
She was a chola,
I get it all. So I never get that lovely Persian DJ. I don't get that. They're always like, that female DJ was and they go off on Yelp reviews under people's bars or clubs. If they came up to me really rudely or asked for a terrible request or something that wasn't even remotely near any of the genres I'm playing for the night, I'm gonna let them know. And that was mostly back in the days when I was DJing bars that don't pay very much, and I was just kind of at that point you just want to play what you want to play, get in, get out. if it's like a club that's paying you thousands of dollars or a special event that's paying you thousands of dollars, you're like, tell me more about your Drake request. Like, talk to me. But
What
if
else you
it's
wanna
like,
hear?
which album, which genre, which year? Like, it's different when you're just there to do what you want to do and people come up to you.
How hard is it? Like, I feel like LA is one of the greatest places for like Hollywood corporate events, right? There's always like a premiere. There's every week something's dropping.
Yes.
There's a
Movie,
Netflix.
release.
There's a Netflix series.
Hulu, Paramount.
How do you get your way? How do you like slither into?
How do you break into that?
Yeah, how do you slither into that arena of corporate parties here in LA?
I feel like that's
you got a good grasp on it, right?
It's a very common question for DJs in LA that are DJing those events. First of all, we are in the epicenter of where awards shows happen, product launches happen, movie premieres happen, TV show premieres happen. So it's either here or New York, more often here in LA. Secondly, there's not any single one thing you can do. You have to literally just, your name has to be in people's mouths and comes up when these events are being discussed, and they start looking for DJs, and it ends up being someone that heard you or heard you at another event or has heard of you or saw you at a club, or there is no answer to that. I've thought about it.
Right.
If I would have told my younger self the answer to that 20 years ago if I knew. Turns out the answer is time.
Right.
Like putting your time into the industry and the city you're in so that your name comes up in those rooms and in those conversations. And I don't know if any amount of networking or going out to the clubs would get you there.
No.
You know what, Crooked? I don't know if you remember, but before I moved to Vegas, I was doing all the movie premieres for New Line Cinema.
I remember you telling me about that.
And it's like once you get in, then your name is always mentioned.
And then when I first got in, I did the premiere for I don't know if you remember the movie Boiler Room.
Boiler Room, yeah.
Yeah. I knew the director, Ben Younger, and he had me do his premiere. And the catering company that was doing it, the girl that was running it, she was like, "Oh, you're a fucking good DJ. We doing all the catering for New Line Cinema. Would you want to be the DJ?" And I was like, "Yeah." And like for 2 years, I was doing all the movie premieres.
What was your rate, Never?
And then what happened?
When I moved to Vegas, I was trying to do it, going back and forth, and I got tired. And I was just like,
So who'd you give that contact to?
Yeah, why don't you give it a Cricket?
I don't know. It was just like, I don't know. It was just,
Yeah, why didn't you give it to me?
Cricket sounds hurt.
I don't know. I forgot.
So
But
who'd you give it to?
I was getting like $1,500, and at the time that was a lot of money. That was like 1999, from 99 to like 2003.
Oh wow.
Nah, I feel like you could have done like 3 to 5.
I don't know. I didn't have no management at the time.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just,
You don't know better.
Yeah, it was.
Because probably around 2003 and 4, like the prices for corporate shit, like Fashion Week was a big thing in New York. So like I was getting like 2 to 3 for a Fashion Week joint. Like I think I was like tied in with La Perla for some reason.
Wow.
Like
How many times a year was you doing it?
every Fashion Week. So like
Because with the New Line Cinema, I was doing
twice a year.
New Line Cinema. I was doing like maybe 4 or 5 times a year.
That's great. That's awesome. But yeah, I feel like you could have got.
Definitely could have gotten more, but
Yeah.
I did the premiere for Lord of the Rings at the
Come on, man. Lord of the Rings. That's a 5. That's a 5.
should have.
and it was at the what museum? The big museum where they have the Met Gala.
MoMA?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I did it there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you fucked up.
Isn't the Met Gala at the Met?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
The Met, yeah.
The Met Gala. That's like
At the Met,
10K.
yeah.
You were doing it for 1,500.
I was, yeah.
Holy shit! Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
God damn.
And that was a lot of money too at the
The
time.
point is he has the memories.
Yeah. Don't ruin my memories.
Cricket's like, you could have done better. What's wrong with you?
We can't go back.
I don't
and
need the memories.
renegotiate.
I need the money.
I need the
The
checks.
memories,
Well, that was a good money back then, so.
the memories don't pay the mortgage, but you
Exactly.
have the memories, and that's what matters.
Never was like,
You went to one of the parties I did at home. I remember you came, you ate all the food, and you bounced.
Sounds about right.
But you
Sounds
did.
about right.
You dropped me some records because I just came to New York and you dropped me. I forgot which records. You went to Rock and Soul for me. He was like, "Yeah, Nev, I got this for you." Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
Then you ate all the food, hung out, ate. All right, finish eating.
He was like my OG.
Yeah.
So he would tell me to do all this shit. Like, yeah, I'm gonna put you on. You know, give me some records. Do this. You know, I need a mix. Make me a mix. You know, he like do all this shit.
I came through though, right?
Yeah, he did. He brought me to Vegas. You know, you looked out. Thank you.
No, thank you, man.
I appreciate it,
No
man.
doubt.
Full circle
I'm
moment.
fucking- Exactly, man.
But there was never anything that you could have done to get those gigs, and that's the answer.
Yeah, it's just
there's
like-
nothing you could do. Your name just comes up and you get lucky. Maybe it's one
like
part
luck. It's like luck,
one
timing,
part,
everything. Yeah.
It's timing, yeah.
Putting in years and years and being there and being present and DJing and being good and people hearing of you and recommending you for the one of my longest running clients is Patek Philippe. I don't know how they found me. I just got an email once.
God
Crazy.
damn!
Yeah.
What?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't even remember
These
how they found me. I'm still waiting for them to give me a Patek Philippe. That hasn't happened, but I get to DJ for them and be in the room with these like beautiful watches.
Yes.
Or like, you know, because we have the Emmys and the Golden Globes and all these award shows, and then they have the creative Emmys and all these like side shoot award shows and stuff, like eventually you get a call to DJ something for Netflix or DJ something for NBC, or every year I get to do the SNL Emmys party. Like those are things. It's just I happened to DJ a wedding, and the event planner for that wedding was the one organizing the SNL parties and started using me for everything that he did because he liked how I performed at that wedding, which is nowhere near the set I did for the SNL Emmys parties. They just like, you just meet people that end up liking you like them back, you work well together, you showed up on time, you turned the music on and you turned it off at the right time, and they want to use you again. It doesn't always come down to talent. It's like part luck, part timing,
Yeah,
part
exactly.
being in the right place at the right time. And
But I'm going to ask you actually say something, because I remember I was talking with one of my, I'm not going to put him on blast, but we had like a conversation. We were talking about all the corporate events, and we were saying like, you know, like women DJs really have a leg up on corporate events, because I feel like when you go to an event and it's elegant and it's classy, there's something very distinguished and attractive to see a woman DJ spinning.
but so many
Versus
years
like a
I would
dude.
go to like I would
You know what I mean?
sneak
I know
in.
exactly what you mean.
But
yeah.
there's plenty of DJs wearing their black tuxes and their suits, and like male DJs DJing.
Yeah,
these
it
events.
depends on
Like,
how you dressed also.
As I
Yeah.
was, you know, LA Fashion Week is not a big deal the way New York Fashion
No,
Week
no.
is.
Yeah.
But like, for instance,
I didn't even know
Auto Week
that
is
existed.
huge for
Yeah,
us
it's
here.
in
Like,
it's in March or February.
Oh, they said Auto Week?
Auto Week is huge for us here. Like, it's where like Rolls-Royce will unveil their new car, Audi will unveil their new electric car, Lamborghini, like Land Rover, Range Rover, all of them will be like unveiling new cars that week.
That's
and
crazy. I
these
thought it was-
events are wild. Like, I DJ'd a Rolls-Royce party where they took everybody's phone at the entrance, even mine. Like, I was like, wait, I'm just working. They're like, no. They took everybody's phones at the beginning. So
What do
like,
you mean wild?
just so you can't even take your phone into the party.
Like eyes wide shut shit, or like
They
some
didn't
crazy
want you
shit?
taking photos of the new Rolls Royce before it's like
Posting
been
it.
revealed on
I thought you meant like
social
wild,
media,
like some,
Getting a little
oh no,
nutty.
not eyes wide shut.
some
No,
like freaky shit.
no, it was just like very nice hors d'oeuvres around a fancy pool at a really nice house.
Wearing masks, covering their eyes. And shit.
No, none of that. No, I just meant that they didn't want you to reveal any photos of a nice car, nice new car, that nice new 200,000 car before.
Like sushi
before
on
it's
top of a
been-
butt naked.
Yeah,
like
right.
someone that's
No.
butt naked motherfuckers and shit. No, these are the type.
I
of,
wish.
These are the type of corporate parties Shaw's doing, right?
Lady Sha's like, I wish. I really like sushi, man.
Love an open sushi bar, but no. So yeah, like LA Auto Week is huge, and so I don't even know where I was going with that.
You're
Oh
saying
yeah,
that,
I would go to in the 2000s. I would go to a lot of these parties or be the plus one for somebody going to these parties, and it would always be a male DJ in a very nice suit DJing these parties.
Right.
I,
But that was
I-
the 2000s. I feel like the 2010s
maybe
was the emergence.
Now you feel you see more females DJing. These
Yeah, but I
special
get it.
events.
I get it. When I'm in the event and I see, like, you know, a woman DJ
works for
spinning.
you.
No, but they.
And like,
It works for the event.
like a really elegant gown.
I've seen you at these corporate events, Shaw. You look good. You have You know, you
The
accessorizing,
leather jacket. Yeah.
you looking
The
good.
makeup, the dress.
Hair
Yeah,
done,
everything.
face made up.
Yeah.
You know,
The heels.
like if I see you DJing at a Rolls Royce event, I'm like, that is
It makes
an
sense.
elegant
That's
ass DJ. And when I see Never, I'm like, all right,
I'll be wearing what I'm wearing right now. This same T-shirt I be wearing. Like, yo. Everyone be
Like,
wearing suits and gowns. I'm like, yo.
But then, Crooked, you're telling me you DJ for La Perla.
I mean, that was at a time when they would. I think they just would like the music I played, and and maybe the guy who was coordinating the events.
Did you wear a suit?
Wanted to smash me or something. I don't know.
Did you wear a
That
suit
time.
to DJ those gigs? Like, did you get dolled up to DJ those gigs?
Nah, I look
Probably,
like trash.
probably wearing what you
I
wearing.
look like trash.
Fresh
I look
cut?
like absolute trash.
Fresh cut and everything.
Yeah. I was like, I look like trash. But that was when the DJ booth was hidden, and I was doing like an after party. I wasn't doing like the event, where like motherfuckers was like eating hors d'oeuvres and shit. I was doing like, yo, Fashion Week's over.
I think every event planner thinks about the look of the event.
Of
And
course.
they're thinking of like, where's the DJ booth going to go, and what are the colors going to be, and how is it going to be presented, and who do we want behind the DJ booth. And sometimes they just want like a Zen Freeman or a DJ Spider. And there's so many male DJs still doing these special events and corporate events too.
I wouldn't
And
want
so
Spider. I would hate to see my recap photos and see Spider DJing my event.
He's crushing it at Sundance right now as we
Yeah,
speak.
yeah, like
There
7
are a
days.
lot of Spider does a
He does all the
ton
Netflix.
of
I'd be like, who
movie
is this
premieres
wacky ass?
and-
Who is this wacky looking motherfucker
Shout out to
DJing
Spider.
my event? Who the fuck booked this
He
motherfucker?
be hanging with Bill Murray.
I'm so glad I poked the bear of how much you and Spider love each other and admire
No, I
and
do.
respect
I like
each
it.
other.
I do love him. I do love, but that's why I talk shit about him. If I didn't love him, I wouldn't say
But
anything.
he's one of the first guys that comes to mind, like doing a ton
Oh,
of
he is.
these,
He does a
these
lot of that.
movie
Him,
premieres, special events, awards shows.
MOS and Kiss.
And
yeah.
they're all like, there's still like, as much as you feel like you see a lot of females at the corporate events, I feel like it's still equal. I see tons of guys and girls, and I'm very happy to see.
No, I don't think
lots
it's
of
equal.
females.
I don't think it's equal.
You
by
think there's
far.
more females?
Yeah, but I get it. I completely get it. Yeah, we're talking about our inner circle of like club DJs who kind of cross over to corporate.
Well, let me
events,
be really real. So from the very beginning, I was doing both, and I realized very quickly that private events, special events, and corporate events and weddings pay 10 times what a club or bar
Of
does.
course, yeah.
No, I'm sure you're getting more for DJing clubs in in Vegas or New York or Miami than in LA, because LA is a little bit notorious because we have the shortest night. We have the, very small windows where the club is open. We close at 2. DJ rates in LA are lower than the other major cities. And so corporate events are paying, I feel, 10 times as much. And so from the very beginning, I realized that, and I always had one foot in each sphere. As I'm getting older and I'm walking into the clubs, and I really want to talk to you guys about this, because when you feel a larger and larger and larger age divide between you and 21, and sometimes a lot younger than 21, walking into the club with their fake IDs. Do you ever feel like, I want to DJ something else now? Or you think you're going to DJ clubs till you literally are like, we were walking with your oxygen mask and like, I'm curious how you guys think about this and how you feel a little bit about like the decades going forward, because I am more and more stepping into the special event and corporate world, but keeping one foot like my once a month at Bootsy and my once a month at Poppy. That is enough for me to get my high,
Get your fix.
my fix, my high of the night, whether I drink or not. I just get so high from those nights and my adrenaline up, and I'm good.
I think it also it depends on how up to date you are with music.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're up to date and you're going out, I think the hardest part for the DJ though to stay relevant is not going out. Because if they're not going out, they're not really seeing people. They don't have a presence in the industry as much. So I think that's the bigger problem of like, yo, you're not going out. You're not hearing what motherfuckers are playing. You're not knowing really who's the next up and coming DJ,
So to stay relevant in the clubs, you got to stay out in the streets.
I think that's an element of it.
Yeah.
You know,
some
what
people
I'm
are grandfathered in and they don't need to.
I think there's an element of it. But if you're doing your job,
are you still enjoying? I think you in particular are. Crooked always is inviting me to, let's go to DJ Moma's party. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Like you're one night in LA, you're like, I'm going to pop over to this club and then this club and this. Like you like to stay out in the streets. But before the podcast started, I was telling Neva, I don't like to go out if I'm not getting paid anymore.
I don't like to go out. I don't like to go out either, to be honest with you. But I go out because I'm curious. And then what I've realized is that very rarely, like back in the day, maybe like 5 years ago or 3 years ago, I would go out and I would hear DJs and I'd be like, oh man, that was fucking dope. Or like, oh man, I got to get up on this. I got to get up on that. Now when I go out recently in the past 2 years, I'm kind of like, oh shit, like I'm too hard on myself.
Like after the pandemic, right?
A little bit after the pandemic, I would go out and I'd be like, oh shit, like I'm good. Like I thought I was really behind, but
You're like, I
I'm
could go
good.
to sleep. I could sleep tonight.
I could sleep
I'm
well.
good. I can move around.
Yeah.
Chill.
But where it's like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I would go out. I'd be like, oh shit, like I gotta
step
on
my
this
shit up.
Yeah, because and the thing is like I have to like I don't know because of the rooms that I'm in, I have to stay up on like hip hop, Afrobeats, EDM, house,
Reggaeton.
dance, reggaeton. There's so many genres.
You have a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, I have like
I check
so
in
many
with
genres.
EDM hits like once every few months. I'm like, what's hot? What I miss?
Right.
Hip hop, I have to like be on all the playlists every week, like Spotify's, Rap Radar, and like all
Rap
the like
Caviar.
Caviar.
Rap Caviar. I'm always like, what's on the top 50 right now? Okay, I got it. Oh, what's hot on YouTube right now? I'm checking everything, and then like I'm still like walking into the club at like 11 p.m. and they're like, do you have the new mixtape that dropped 7 minutes ago? And I'm like, let me download it real quick because they
God.
want to
I
hear
hate-
that when
I
they
hate-
walk in.
I fucking hate LA. That's like some LA shit.
They want the new.
It just came out on
You know what I'm
SoundCloud.
talking
But
about.
that's just one genre.
It just came out tonight.
I know walking into Poppy and Bootsy, I only need to
Oh my
be
God.
really, really up on that genre for that night.
I can't even imagine like, when you're doing like Poppy Boots or like a Delilah and like some album dropped that Friday
You
or
gotta
some
have it,
and
the
then
whole
someone's
thing.
just like, yo, like
That's
you
enough.
don't have this? What do you mean?
The
I don't.
night,
Yo,
like I
what are
did
you
Poppy
talking
a few
about?
DJ
Fridays
radio.
ago, and the new Metro Boomin album had dropped like 5 seconds before the club doors opened. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, I downloaded the whole thing illegally, immediately downloaded it like off some site, was like, just got to make sure I have this. Not even 30 minutes into the club, one of the tables ordered bottle service with the marquee that said play Metro Boomin on their marquee. I was like, loud and clear, guys.
He's so corny.
Loud and clear. Like I saw the
Hollywood.
marquee from across
Hollywood
the
is
club.
corny.
Hollywood is so corny.
Across the room
Not
to
LA.
the table to my left. They were 4 feet away. They could have easily said, yo, DJ, are you going to play Metro Boomin tonight? And I would have been like,
That's 100% an athlete. That had
it
to have been
wasn't.
it.
It wasn't.
Had to
I
have
didn't
been
know
an
who they
athlete.
were. They were some young kids. They were 4
even
feet away.
worse, yeah.
They didn't need to spend that money on that marquee. They could have put the marquee.
Turkey's so mad
They
at
could have. They
athletes.
Put that money in your pocket.
You know what?
got something with- against
Similar happened to
Something
me
happened with an athlete in cricket.
when I was when Drake dropped Honestly Nevermind. I didn't download the album, so I walk into the venue and the manager's like, "You got that new Drake, right?" I'm like, "I didn't download it yet." Oh my God! Are you, he got mad. I thought he was joking, but he was serious. I don't believe it. You don't. He just like walked away. He was like pissed off, and I'm just like, dude.
I'm gonna be honest.
I could download it right now if it's that serious.
Did he
man.
take your free meal and he throw it in the
No,
garbage?
You don't have
It was
premium.
that
No, so
serious,
check it out.
Neva.
So I downloaded it, and I was playing it that night, and it's like all house or like all dance. He comes up to me. He was like, "Is this the Drake album? The one that just came out?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is it. This is it." And he just like.
He wanted
He was
you
like
to
shocked. He
download
was
it
like-
based off the name.
He
and
thought it was gonna be
not
like all
the-
hip
not the
hop, but he was like
bangers. Yeah.
shocked. It was like all dance music or Afrobeat.
That sounds about right.
And then you play
And
it.
then this is what he said.
I know. I didn't say nothing. I was just like,
Maybe he missed on this one.
I didn't say shit. I just like, yo, all right.
It's like, that does make sense. You know,
You owe me money now because I bought the album.
Yeah, I paid $10 for the fucking
Yeah,
album.
I be doing that. I be buying music now. I have to buy it. Like if I'm showing up to the club and something drops,
I always buy music now because it's like none of the record
it-
pools have any Sony music, so
It's crazy.
I have to go up.
it's on Beat Source though.
Yeah, I mean,
We have to.
For you streaming heads.
shout to Beat Source.
Shit, Kirk, come on. I'll take this out. But
I have
fuck.
I have to start using Beat Source.
You should use Beat Source because everything's on there. All Sony.
It is
everything.
clutch.
It's very clutch.
I'm old school. I want to.
I know, I'm the same way,
I
man.
want to keep the MP3s.
I want that shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to
That's-
just.
you have that physical MP3
Yeah.
in your hand. You
I
want to
wanna be able to-
feel that MP3.
It's like
I
if
want to
they-
be able to get it when I want it. I don't want to like.
Yeah.
You want to go to your hard drive
I
and see
want to
it.
shake it like some dice and blow in it. You know what I mean? I want
Whoa,
the MP3s in my
whoa.
fucking hand. I want those
wants-
MP3s.
I want to see it in my
Feel
crates.
that. Yeah.
So recently we had like a 2022 recap episode, and it was the first time we actually I actually reached out to DJs. I put a poll up so they could vote for their favorite.
I saw your polls.
Yeah, it's our favorite. You know, what is that?
Oh shit!
I saw your
Pause.
post.
wait. Wait. I finally felt the condescending tone. I felt that. You heard that, right?
You heard it in a way.
You heard that condescending. Oh shit.
She said, "I saw your polls."
Yeah.
What polls?
I'm mad
Shut
right
up.
now because I feel like I should have listened. You should have told me to listen to that 2022
No.
recap before coming in here today, and I haven't listened to it
No.
yet. But I remember I watch all your stories because I stalk you, so I meant it in the kindest way. I
No.
saw you put up those polls.
Oh, I thought I did something wrong.
No,
She sounded wrong.
I did say like I
nah,
saw your polls.
I saw your post.
I saw the post.
Your little polls. Yes.
No, so we had the polls, right? So top editors of 2022, top mixes of 2022, and then we there was a vote for your favorite top 5 DJs of 2022, and we didn't control any of the nominees or
Yeah,
the winners
it's up
at
to
all.
us.
DJs were voting for it, and we did. D, what are you laughing about?
Yeah, that's because she said it weird, and he's dying.
It was the way she said it.
You heard that shit. It was spicy, right?
No, he heard it a different way.
I know what you're doing. I'm not trying to go there. I'm not trying to go
I
there.
just had to get it out of my system.
He was like, "Whoa!"
I'm not trying to go there.
I was like, "Shut
No
up."
one said pause. Did you say pause? Because we needed a pause when I said I saw your polls.
We're trying to grow, bro.
Whoa!
At least we have the memory.
All right, I'm back.
So, we had these. We made these clips for social media, right?
Yeah.
And we were actually, we were getting, we got a lot of feedback from all kinds of people. I don't even know if these people were DJs, but we got a lot of feedback. They're like, how come there's no women DJs on there?
I thought
And
the same.
yeah.
But I agreed with, I can't remember who the 5 were.
Mm-hmm.
Miles was on there.
Right.
Yeah.
Four Color Zach,
Miles
Jay
Espinoza.
Espinoza,
Jay Espinoza was
Puffy.
on there. Puffy,
MoMA, right?
these are favorite DJs of mine.
Yeah.
So I had no issue with it. And then I did think to myself, wow, there's no females up there.
So you did feel that
We
way.
can't all go, especially in the 2 years following a pandemic. That was a tough question to me because I don't go out that much anymore, so I haven't had a chance to hear all these DJs play lately.
Right.
That much, unless they come through LA and I happen to be out. I just haven't gone out that much this last year. Like 2020, I never went out.
Yeah.
We were all shut down. 2021,
Hit or
I
miss.
went to my own gigs, but didn't go to other gigs. 2022, I went to some parties, but not a lot. And then sometimes I'll tune in and hear whatever people are doing on Twitch. But so I didn't have a chance to hear any of these DJ sets live unless I saw them, clips of them on YouTube or on Instagram later. So I also, the places where a lot of females DJ, all of our clubs are difficult to get into unless you're like in that city and you know the door people or there's a certain list or line to get into these clubs. It's not easy to just show up to these clubs, walk in and hear all the DJs like play. So I understand how it might have been difficult for people to vote or nominate females if they haven't had a chance to hear us play live and if they haven't like been stalking our YouTube channels to like I don't upload whatever I'm DJing at Poppy or Bootsy to YouTube. Like, your only way to hear me DJ those clubs is to be at those clubs, and you have to be in LA the one night of the month I'm headlining that club. It's like a lot, I understand, but I was bummed. That there
You were
was
bummed.
Yeah, I was slightly bummed.
Okay. No, I wanted to have an open discussion with you on how, the conversation.
But even the women that I would nominate, sorry to interrupt, like I haven't gotten a chance to go hear Bella or Angie or any of the my favorite female DJs play in a long time either. So I get it. I get why people can I feel like Puffy, Jay Espinoza, Miles, Four Colors Act. Who was the fifth one on the list? MoMA. They all have great online clips of them DJing, like a lot of footage always circulating on my stories and on my timeline of them DJing, like actually DJing.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense that the people that made it on top of your polls
Pause.
or, people who have really good online presence and videos.
That is true.
Well, I wanted to have an open discussion because I had another conversation and someone was like, you never interview women at all. Your whole podcast is very
Male driven.
There's a lot of it's like a boys club. You guys have created almost a boys club with the podcast, And I honestly said it's because I think women are boring. No, I'm just joking. No.
That was something really serious. I was about to say, whoa, crooked.
No, it's just I think it's who we're accessible, or who we're around, who I bump into, and I was like, I have to make more of an effort to reach out to women DJs. But I guess when I think about it, I'm not in the vicinity of a lot of women DJs.
Especially in Vegas.
Especially in Vegas. We got them.
There's some. There's
there's some, but
we have CLA, Tina T. We've had
there's not a crazy variety.
But if I go to Austin, right?
Yeah.
If I go to Miami or if I go to different cities, it is semi-male dominated in the rooms that I'm in.
80%. That
I happen to kind of be in, Whereas if I see a dope woman DJ, I'm like, yo, I got to get you. But then that's not an excuse. That's basically
that's your reality.
That's my reality.
That's your experience.
But I realize I have to start going to other rooms and hearing other DJs and getting out of my comfort zone, or maybe venturing out
for the sake of the podcast, because it's not your job as DJ Crooked to do that, but you're saying as the sake of running a DJ podcast, a DJ driven podcast, you need to make more of an effort to see the females playing in the cities you're at. Right.
I was told to call women DJs, and I heard female is condescending.
Idea. I haven't heard that.
See, I don't even know.
Women DJs, female.
Because they're we don't want to. We're not female DJs. We're just DJs. Look.
Yeah, but for the sake of.
Yeah, I know.
Delineating between male and female, we can use those terms, but
they said no. They don't want.
They don't want to hear female.
Don't want female. Because I think in hip hop, female can sound condescending. Yo, you acting like a female.
Right. Yeah. I can see the history of that word, but also none of the, women or female DJs. A lot of us get annoyed when we're asked to be on all female DJ, all women DJ lineups, because we're like, wait, why does it have to be a separate night or a night of its own to have all females on? And so we do want to be we all hate the term of you're the best female or girl or woman DJ I've ever heard. We want to just be the best DJ. We want to just be a great DJ that you listened to and heard. So we don't like when the term female is used to separate us from all other DJs.
Yeah.
But we do, in reality and in practice, we are female.
Right. No, I get it.
So it's okay to use that term to delineate between us, but the at the end of the day, we are all DJs, and so we want to be just called a DJ.
And that was actually one of my arguments, or one of my reasoning. I think someone was like, why don't you have two categories for next year's recap where they could vote the top 10 women DJs and top 10 men DJs?
No, it just sounds to me like us women need to do a better job of uploading our clips and video clips of us DJing online so we can compete on par with the top 5 you currently have. Because it's just, to me, those top 5 are there because they're the best with their online visibility of their DJ sets.
Yeah,
Whereas for
so
me,
you
you
got a
really
separate
have to come to a
category.
club.
Right.
Imagine the door that would open. Like next, it would be like what? Like we need a separate category for Asians. We need a separate, you know what I mean? Like it's like
That's funny, but it's true.
We don't
You know
want
what I
our
mean? It's
own
like, why do you have to
category.
continue
We
to-
want to be part of. Don't separate the categories.
No,
if that's
I'm not,
the answer.
My argument for not separating the categories is because there's not one woman DJ that I know that's like, hey, you know, we don't want to be part of the men DJs. Every woman DJ that I know is like, no, we're all DJs.
Yeah.
So we're all in one category.
yeah.
So there's no separation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, because it's not a physical sport where
Yes.
like males have certain physical advantage or women have certain physical advantage over that sport or whatever. It's not a physical sport. It's
Right.
it's a mind game. it's
sure.
it's a craft and game of the mind, memory, and like nimble fingers.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But
So-
I wanted an open conversation with you. If you had any suggestions or anything that we can improve on to open, you know what I mean? Like, not to just not get stuck in the pattern that we've
I
had for the
always
last 5
text
years.
you when I hear of somebody doing dope stuff that I want you to interview selfishly because I want to hear from them and I want you to ask all the questions that I can't just call them up and ask.
Yeah.
I always tell you, like, message you, please interview this person or please interview that person. And sometimes it's a guy and sometimes it's a girl. And I want to hear everybody's story. But I think when you're noticing a pattern of all your guests are male or the majority are male, then that's you're doing the step you need to do, which is to make more of an effort to be inclusive
For sure.
of other DJs and other genres.
Yeah, yeah.
Other female DJs and
Yeah.
genders and genres and countries. And
Yeah, I think that there's
next you're going to get, you never interview DJs from Zimbabwe. And now you have to go seek that out.
I would love to do
Zimbabwe.
that though,
Me too. I want to hear about
Yeah.
what the DJs are playing in Zimbabwe.
for sure.
What's interesting to me is, this is a sidetrack, but the reason I want to hear from DJs in other countries is because French DJs love hip hop and they come and sometimes they'll do like a trade with Poppy or Bootsy promoters. Well, they'll open for me or they'll do a guest set in the night and I'll be asking them, oh, like, what's hot right now in French hip hop? I want to know all about this and that. And they're like, oh, in France, we don't play French hip hop. And I'm like, but when I go to DJ a party in Paris, I try to play French hip hop and the room goes crazy. And the answer has always been, because you're not from France. It's considered like hood in France to play French hip hop. And all they want to play is American hip hop. And that's so interesting to me because I would think that that French hip hop would be huge in France, but French hip hop is bigger apparently outside of France.
So were they like Sacre bleu? No, we do not play French music in France. Were they like that?
No, they were very nice explaining it to me, and I was like, oh, okay. Like I wanted to know, like, oh, what are the new bangers? And they're like, doesn't matter in our world because we are playing American hip hop.
It's funny. I was just
But that's why I would want to hear more from DJs in other countries.
I just came from Mexico City and I spoke to a couple of DJs and they fucking hate reggaeton. They think reggaeton is destroying nightlife in Mexico City.
Have I not said
What do
that?
they want to play?
Huh?
American hip hop? They want to play American hip hop?
No, I mean, I think what they're attaching to reggaeton is the what they find as the disrespect of like entitlement for like patrons to come in and demand Bad Bunny and have like and to go to a DJ, no matter even if it's an EDM night or whatever, if it's a dance night or whatever theme night it could be, that reggaeton is this kind of toxic disease in nightlife that has made their patrons think it's okay to go to the DJ and demand an artist or a reggaeton artist, and they find that's destroying the nightlife out there. But I thought it was extremely interesting, and I understood.
I want to hear that on the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
So there's
It was a conversation I had, but
Yeah.
you know, for sure.
We gotta go to Mexico City now.
Yeah, I told y'all like we have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Road podcast needs to hit the road for real. Like, I know. I think we've talked about this before. None of you guys were stoked on my idea that you live in an RV and literally hit the road.
Yeah, I don't
Not
wanna
a
be in
single
an RV.
person here was like, "That's a great idea."
I don't know about
Sean.
that one. For how long?
Yeah, I don't know, like a little.
He's not gonna laugh.
Little season,
I know,
you know, like
He'll
a little
fucking kill
tour,
it.
the Road Podcast tour in an RV.
It's actually not a bad idea.
We'll do it if you
Sit
come
down.
with us. You'll come
Yeah,
with us.
you gotta
Great.
cook and take care.
Bring the baby. Bring the baby.
It has to
along.
be a dope RV too. If you're gonna do it.
Like a glamping
So-
situation, a glamping RV, and you take it across, and then like, yeah, but I also want to hear from DJs in other
sure.
countries. So
For sure.
anyways, that's when you get like the baller sponsors and you fly all over the world interviewing people. But for now, yes.
Yeah,
Let's
talk to
include more
Protect Philippe
ladies.
for us.
Yeah, I will. But also
Get
you
Philippe
I'm still working on getting my first watch, okay? So I don't know how many more gigs
That'd be
it's gonna
amazing.
take, but
Yeah.
and then I'll never leave the house. I'll just sit at home with my watch like we're going nowhere.
I got all the time in the world.
Got
Stay
nowhere to
here.
go.
But no, I always want to hear about like I think I feel a little bit alone as a female club DJ here in LA, and I always want to hear about my fellow female DJ experiences. I want to hear about Bella Fiasco's club experiences and Angie V's and CLA and even DJ Charisma, who's a major radio female DJ. And then like I have my homegirls that I talk to, like DJ Ivy and Michelle Page and Daisy Odell, and like there's lots of female DJs doing a lot of special events.
Yeah, like
Dazzler, like even women that come through this office. Like there's a ton of female DJs that are doing special events, but in the little, you know, hip hop bottle service, bottle poppin' Friday, Saturday night jiggy club crowd, I sometimes feel alone in my female DJ experience. It feels very lonely to me because it's all guys. I do feel like it's a lot of guys. So, and we're not always like meeting up outside of the club to talk and catch up, and like it really took something major happening like Wiz Khalifa acting up in the club during Mikey's set for all of us DJs to be like furiously texting each other and group chatting and like catching up and calling each other and being like, how's your mental? It's all right, I'm hanging in there. How's your mental? Like it's hard to
did
catch
that bring
up
you
with-
guys together?
It brought all of us closer. I think
Really?
a lot of us were talking about it, and
Y'all should thank Wiz for that. Then
make sure to send him a thank you card.
that's crazy.
But the yeah, I mean, we're all such big texters that it was like picking up the phone to talk about this
Right.
situation was like it warranted that. It warranted a phone call. And Mikey's good about that. I texted him, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "I'm gonna have to call you."
Yeah.
And so like a week later we had the phone call. So we could like really go over like that could have happened to any of us. Why did it happen? And then I told him about times where I had DJ'd for artists and they had done things like just disappointing things during their set that kind of like could have made me look bad or made them look bad or just didn't need to happen. And so we related on that level because we've been let down before by artists popping into the club after their concert or whatever and not taking the club performance as seriously as their concert performance, but expecting the same outcome and being disappointed when they didn't prepare and bring the right people with them to set them up for success the same way they would have for a concert, but expecting a perfect performance out of a crazy packed club with no stage.
Well, that's good. Some good came out of it. For
Yeah.
You guys like to come together for that. Yeah.
That's the thing about the DJ community. We do at the end of the day have each other's backs. I feel like when things happen, we all call each other and touch base with each other. Like even if we don't know the person, we reach out through other like channels to make sure that person's okay. So I do think that we are a community, males and females, and across all these different cities, we still have this common craft that we do that brings us together.
Right. It's still Firepoo to this day, 2022.
Keep it Firepoo. Keep it 100% Firepoo.
Sha, I'm so glad to have
On
you
that
on the
kumbaya
podcast.
note.
Yeah. I'm so glad you came to, I'm glad to have you on the podcast
Thank
again.
you. Let's go clubbing.
Let's go clubbing.
Let's go clubbing. Let's go hear all the like
do it.
get when you're in LA, get me out of the house.
Yeah, I'm going to drag you out.
Drag me out.
Yeah.
And like at Beyond the Music Retreat, I was about to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And you were like, we're going. Where was it? Flagstaff, Phoenix. Where were we going?
Yeah, we were in
Scottsdale.
Scottsdale. You were like, we're hitting Scottsdale. We're hitting
We went to
the
what?
Strip.
Toca Madera, right?
And
for
then
dinner.
El Jefe.
Cutswell
and
took
Jefe.
such good care of us that night.
It was beyond. He went
I was-
above and beyond.
And I was like, yeah, I was like in sweats and sneakers, jumping on top of the like.
You was ready to
table.
drink, though. You was
And
ready to drink.
Taking a shot. You were. You looked like the second we got out, you were like ready to go home, and then you were like, "Oh no! Like, what have I done?" Because me and Bella were just like, "Woo!" "We'll turn up."
good.
Like you get us there, and then we turn up.
All right. Well, let's do it again.
Yeah, let's do it again. That was so much fun, and let's go hear more female DJs play.
We will do.
We
that.
will change the tide of the polls next year.
In 2023, we're
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah.
That's my goal this year. Okay.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
DJ Lady Sha.
With you. Thank you.
Yes. If you want to watch more episodes from R.O.A.D Podcast, click either links on the left or the right. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and get updated on new uploads throughout the week. Peace.